Hello, Hot Vibes.
And welcome back to... God, what episode are we on? Season 2, episode 9. Yes, episode 9. What family actually means.
Yes.
This, honestly, is one of my favorite episodes of the season. A lot of fun stuff happens in this episode,
Really?
and it just makes me... Yeah, this episode usually is the one that makes me, like, smile, but also cry. Like, it gives me all the emotions. So, I love this episode. Great shit happens, but it depends, I guess, on your viewpoint and your favorite characters. So, yeah, I love this one. So it's great. It's great.
So how was your week this week?
I got a job.
Yeah.
I got a job. I didn't want to, but I needed one because I have no money left. So, honestly, yay. It's been, I haven't started it yet. I've been filling all the paperwork. I start tomorrow. Tomorrow's my orientation. And it's at, like, it's called the Paper Store. And it's, like, they have Hallmark stuff. So, like, I worked at Hallmark for 2 years when I was in California. So, like a little knick-knack store with a bunch of, like, cards and presents and gift bags and things like that. And I'm like, I know that. I can do that. That was actually the job I worked at the longest for Hallmark.
Yeah.
So... Heck yeah. So I'm excited.
Nice.
My boss seems very nice. So it's gonna be fun. I've been feeling blessed the last week though. Like I have zero fucking appetite. I can't eat anything. Like I'm like, I was like, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, fucking nothing. I don't want anything. Like it's just like Chinese food, pizza, burgers. Anyone says the word burger to me, I'll eat it. But like, I don't want it. Like, I don't want anything. And it's very annoying because I get so fucking hungry. Like, my stomach's like, hey, bitch, I would like some food. And I'm like, I wish I could give it to you, but I don't want anything.
Yeah.
It's very annoying. And I'm starting to get real pissed off. But, I don't know. I'll bring it up with my doctor next appointment because it's not like a problem, but it's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've just been feeling, so... That sucked. But yeah, other than that, pretty much nothing's been happening. So yeah, what about you?
I mean, I worked.
Yeah.
I think that was about it. I know I say that all the time, but like...
Sensei. We start with Nomi, and I love this scene. This scene is so good. Nomi's at her sister's reception. And I'm pretty sure it's the wedding reception. No, reception? Reception comes after, doesn't it?
The reception is after. This is the rehearsal dinner, I think. Because it's
Rehearsal.
before the
Thank you.
wedding, but not I think.
Different R.
Yeah.
So this is the rehearsal dinner. And, it literally says that at the beginning of the paragraph I'm reading. My God. Anyway, she's at Tegan's rehearsal dinner, and, Amanita's sitting at a table by herself because Nomi is, the maid of honor, so she's sitting next to her sister. And she excuses herself for a second to go sit with Amanita and talk to her, and Nomi's like, she wants me to give the speech, but I don't know, people are starting to like stare and ask inappropriate questions, and I really don't want to be here right now, so I think it's time for me to fake one of those headaches and go. And as she says that, Nomi's mother comes up and is like, look, it's really embarrassing that you're here, and I know she asked you to speak, but I think it'd be best if you want to fake one of your headaches and leave. And
as soon as she said that, me and Amanita were on the same page. I was like, well, now you have to do it.
Well, now you fucking have to do it, don't you?
Like, if someone calls you out for your fake excuses, you can't use that excuse, and you need to do whatever it is you don't want to do.
Exactly. Well, fuck you. All right, I'm gonna do it now. So now, with renewed confidence, Nomi goes up to the stage and introduces herself as Tegan's former brother, now sister. And she knows her parents prefer to avoid talking about her. So as someone usually not invited, she admits to having always interpreted family as that which does not kill you makes you stronger. So family is a painful subject for her. And Tegan has changed that view, in her opinion. Tegan's soon-to-be husband asks for the dirt and asks her, like, come on, spill the secrets, spill the tea. And she's like, well, actually, she's just nice. She's sickeningly nice. She's, like, the nicest person on the planet. She was born a vegetarian. She apologized before eating french fries because they were related to Mr. Potato Head. She's just the nicest person on the planet. And So she said it's very hard for that because being Tegan's sibling, she's just so perfect. It's very hard to measure up to her.
Mm.
And Nomi herself was always the opposite. She was the difficult one, always getting in fights, getting in trouble, and she always provoked her in hopes of Tegan having kind of like this argument with her and to crack just a little bit. And the worst fight they had was just before her operation, she says. And Tegan came to her apartment. She didn't really understand why Nomi had to have the surgery, like a lot of cisgender people maybe don't. I can speak from experience on that. And a small part of her wanted to talk her out of it. And she then found out that Nomi had forged her mother's signatures on the consent forms, meaning she had now had the power to stop her. She could have gone to the hospital and been like, she lied. Don't let her do this. And Nomi got scared and she said a lot of terrible things. Tegan left and Nomi thought their relationship was over. She thought that was it. And that was the longest and loneliest night of her life. But no one stopped her. She got to go through with the operation, so she knew that Tegan didn't tell anyone. And when she woke up after her surgery, the first thing she saw was Tegan, and her hand was holding hers, and her smile was the first thing she saw, and her voice was singing happy birthday to her, was the first thing she heard. And she said that in that moment, her sister taught her what family actually means. Title of the episode. And Nomi tells Tom he better treat Tegan well or she'll find him. Channeling Wolfgang in that moment. Be like, I'll fucking find it. Death. And so she toasts to her sister and it's a very lovely moment and she's all teary and stuff. And I love that speech. It's really beautiful. Now with Kala, I'm interested to hear what you think about the scene because I flip-flop a lot in my brain about this. Like I see both sides, if that's a thing. I don't know. I'm eager to see what you think about it. Kala, her sister, and her mother are shopping for a woman who just had a third baby. And the woman is a year younger than Kala. And Kala's like, why did she go to university if all she was going to do is make babies? And she thinks the woman's pretty much wasting her mind because she could be solving global warming right now. And Daya and Priya said, well, we've seen her. She looks very happy. She has a husband that loves her and she's making a family and a life with him. And Priya says that she thinks making a family is the most natural thing in the world. And Kala's like, I didn't mean it like that, but also cancer is also a very natural thing. So naturalness in itself is not necessarily a virtue. And Priya wants to wait and see what Kala thinks once she and Rajan start making babies. And Kala's like, as she leaves the store. So it's a touchy subject. But what do you interpret a little from this scene? The way Kala's like talking. It feels a little, in my opinion, feels a little judgy.
It was fully judgy.
It's a bit judgy.
Like it's kind of like mind your own business. Like and honestly, even with the parents too, like being like, oh well, when you have kids, it's like okay, also mind your business too. But like, it's just she's being so like judgmental just because she's not in a relation or in a spot where she wants to have kids, fine. That doesn't mean she should shit on someone else who's choosing to do that. And it really, I was like, why is this even a conversation? Like, this is just, Kala is not it for me at these past few episodes. Like, I just have a lot of issues with her. And this just a random one that was thrown in as well that just did not help.
It's random, it's small, but like it also is very like icky.
Yeah, it's just like why gossip about someone who's happy in their life and judge them for being happy just because you aren't.
And just because like someone's had babies doesn't mean they're wasting their mind, really.
No, some people want to have kids. Like some people like want to have kids, and that's like their choice. And odds are no one's forcing her to have kids. So like,
true. And if she wants to go back to like learning and stuff like that, just because she has kids doesn't mean that her mind is less than or like I'm not someone who wants kids, but I'm not gonna look at my aunt and go, why the fuck did you have 8 kids? You're wasting yourself. Like that's horrible. Like what? Kala, like girly, I love you, but this scene was not it. No. Like this scene was not it at all. Now with Capheus, we get kind of a snippet of him. He goes home and finds a stack of posters and t-shirts and all this stuff for his campaign. Turns out his mother and Zakiya were working on all this for him and fell asleep on the couch. So he covers them with some blankets and they're cute. I love his whole family and him and just his whole community. Now with Riley, we get a snippet as well. We're kind of snippeting through a lot of people at the moment. Riley and Diego are still looking through the pictures of the missing woman. Haven't found her yet. We see Sun. She uses a fake ID and receives a costume to be a waitress at the gala. And as she follows the other girls, she comes across a poster with her brother on it that reads, "Family is our business." Sir, is it? Because legit, it's just you now. Like, your dad is dead, your sister has escaped from prison and is trying to kill you. Is family your business? And do people actually believe that?
It's funny because like you interpreted it like that, and I didn't even think of it. Like I was like, family is our business. Like, hey, mind your own business. Like, family is our own business. Like, don't mind it. And I'm like, that makes sense. That's how I took it when I first read. I'm like, duh. But like, you actually make that point. I'm like, oh, actually,
Yeah. Don't look into this. Our family's our business. Look.
yeah. That's how I took it.
Great way to take it, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of comes from Kala's as well. It's my business.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. But his is more evil, obviously. So with Wolfgang, Felix, we see him first. He enters the old shop that he was talking about last episode. He's like, I want to go back to the key shop. So he enters and suddenly held at gunpoint by Wolfgang, who immediately lowers it when he sees it's Felix. And Felix is like, okay, great. I've just wet myself now. Thanks. Wonderful. So apparently Felix has been looking all over for him, and so has everyone else. Apparently the police are looking for him. Fuchs is looking for him. And he's like, what did you do? And he was like, it's not good. And Felix is like, if you're saying it's not good, I feel like it's really not good. You gotta go. And he's like, yeah, I really think I do. And so Felix recalls the India plan, which they talked about in season 1, a little bit in season 2, I believe, but mainly in season 1. He talked about just leaving, fucking off, and going to India. He's like, India plan. And Wolfgang's like, maybe. So he's thinking about leaving Berlin because basically everyone is out for his blood right now. Back with Kala. Kala and her mother are out drinking coffee, and Priya asks her if everything's okay with Rajan. And Kala's like, there are things that we didn't really know about each other that we're now processing, which is kind of true, but they're not processing it together, is the thing. Like, Kala thinks there's something going on with him. I don't know if he thinks that something's going on with her or not. We haven't fully seen that.
Yeah.
But she's wondering what the hell's going on with him, and that's how she's wording it, I guess. And her mother says that when her father brought her to Bombay, it terrified her because the city was so loud and noisy. It was very different from where they used to live. And it seemed like nobody knew each other. And she thought she'd never feel comfortable here. And one day, Kala's father asked her mother to get a few things from his restaurant. And she had to pay someone to go and get them for her because she was terrified to go out. And coming from that, she says, sometimes all you need is a bit of time. Which is true in some instances, but I think time should also come with communication.
Yeah.
Because I think time, yes, but like I think there's been enough time with Kala and Rajan that they need to communicate now. It's gotten to a point. So I think that needs to happen, like now. Now with Riley, her and Diego are still going through until finally she sees the woman in the missing persons photo. She's like, that's her. Her name is Carol Cumberland. And as Will pops up, she's like, she lives here. We gotta go and see where she is. So they arrive at Carol's house, and the mail is piling out of the mailbox. It's not looking like anybody's been home for a while. And standing on the porch, Riley has a vision of Angelica and Whispers also arriving at this house. And she tells Will, and Diego kind of overhears her talking about Whispers, and is like, I'm sorry, we're standing outside a really creepy house, and your first thing is talking about a guy named Whispers? Because, like, I'm not vibing with this.
Yeah. And
Will's like, he could go stay in the car if he wants. And he's like, I know he's saying some shit, but I could go stay in the car. But no, I'm not going to do that. And he knocks. No one answers the door. And so Diego's probably like, you know, knowing Will, he's going to be like, let's go around the back. And as he says that, Riley's already
she's already going there.
We're already going. He's like, oh my God, so predictable. So they go down and go around the back of the house. And at that moment, we go over to Capheus. Capheus is at a market and he sees Van Damme, the best of part 2. And he's like, Jean-Claude, what have you gotten me into? I feel like I'm out of my depth here. And as he's doing that, he sees 2 shady men from behind kind of checking him out. And he's like, I don't like this. So he walks off and notices that the men start to follow him. So as he runs off, he manages to create some distance between them and is fleeing down different alleyways, but one of them at the very least manages to track him down, and eventually he knocks out one of the guys with a stick. Good job. And he didn't need any help for that too. He's learned.
Yeah, it was just
like
him.
he didn't need. I was like, son, Wolfgang, somebody, but like he took that guy out by himself.
Yeah.
Good job. And he's like, I don't want to hurt you, but I will if you don't answer all my questions, because like, who are you? And after that, we cut away from him, so we don't know who he is yet, but we will find out this episode. Now back with Riley and Will. Riley kind of channels Will for a second to break into the house, and Diego's like, great, B&E, just what we need. Really, officers of the law, and we're breaking into this house. And they look around for a bit and find untouched dinner on the table. There's maggots crawling all over the steak. Very disgusting. And so it looks very abandoned. And as they encounter a door to the basement, Riley and Will have a vision of Angelica leading Raoul down the stairs, with Carol going first. And Diego descends down, but he's like, I have a flashlight. I'm gonna go down first. Make sure it's clear. Make sure we're good. They walk through a plastic curtain down there. The light switch isn't working either, so it's very sketchy. Riley finds a switch a bit deeper in that does work, though. And when the lights go on, they find a medical procedure room, so it's getting sketchier. And as Riley hears echoes of Carol talking to Angelica about her children that everyone's looking for, someone messed up there. Fucked up a line. But she sees Carol and Calovi applying electrodes to Raoul's head in the past. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Calovi's administering some drug. Raoul is then shocked, causing a lot of pain. And Riley and Will find a device to put on one's head. And that obviously wasn't going on Raoul's head. He had the electrodes on his head. So that goes on someone else's head. That's all we know about that for now. But that's because Whispers put it on. So they're like, the fuck is this? So now we get a little more into what Whispers has been working on. And this is the first like inkling of that. The first time we really see what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it Whispers is basically like controlling other sensates in a way, and Angelica is defending her research, and it's basically just a lot of flashbacks of like pain and stress, and so it's a lot is going on. And Riley has a flashback of Raoul being hidden in a secret adjacent room, so she goes to pull a chair aside and open the door, and there's a bed in there, and in the past Angelica and Carol get Raoul to sit on the bed, and Angelica is asking for forgiveness as she's caressing Raoul's head on her lap. So it's a little like, because she feels bad about it, but at this point I feel like maybe she's wondering if this was the right idea or not. I think it's at this point where she's like, this is not
yeah good. It was in this moment she realized she fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So Diego points out that while the lab is creepy, they still need to find evidence of a crime. Like, there's not really evidence of a crime here, just an abandoned house with creepy shit in the basement. And Riley suggests they look upstairs. And Diego's like, yeah, I bet Will suggested that, not you. And so they head upstairs. Meanwhile, a flashback shows Jonas appearing behind Carol as she's taking some pills in her bathroom. And as they enter the bathroom, they find Carol in the bathtub with her wrist slit. Yes. You see a flashback of her doing it as well. And there's a bloody knife on the floor, and it's just, whew, she's like lifeless in the tub. It's a scene. It's a picture. Yeah. But God, so she's dead, basically. Yeah. She's been dead for a second. Now back with Capheus, the Van Dam arrives at Kibaka's villa. So evidently, these guys that were following him had something to do with Kibaka. And the guard lets him enter the house. Inside, Silas and Amundi are playing, looks like checkers maybe, or some kind of game. And Amundi's like, oh, it's Capheus. She goes to hug him because she loves him. And Silas asks her to give them a moment, but before leaving the room, Amundi asks Capheus if he will stop driving the Van Dam if he becomes president, and he's like, never gonna do that. But he has a conversation with Silas a second later that maybe suggests he should. Yeah. So Capheus follows Silas out onto the terrace, and he asks why he's here. Capheus wants to know why Silas's men are following him, so those were Silas's men. And he admits that he should have told him, but he figured Capheus would reject them. And he says that the KDRP, I wish I remembered the it's the political thing. I don't remember the what that stands for, but it's the political party that he's with. Knows about politics, but Silas knows Nairobi.
Yeah.
And the true viability of a candidate is not measured by numbers, but by the size of the bounty. And he's like, I'm sorry, there's a bounty on me?
Yeah.
And he's like, there's a bounty on anyone who goes up against Mandiba. And right now the prize is somewhere between a beating and a kidnapping, but it might go up after his rally. Withdrawing will only enhance the hold that Mandiba has over this city and Kibera. So Capheus takes it he can't withdraw then, but he also can't claim to be like everyone else if he's constantly followed by guards. And Silas says he was right about the fact that politics requires courage. And he advises Capheus to stop driving his bus because he arrives at the same place at an appointed time every day. So it's very easy for someone to be like, I'll just kidnap him from there because they know where he's going to be every second of the day. And Capheus asks Silas if he's helping him undermine Mandiba because it's good for his business interests. And Silas is like, what's good for my business and my family is aligned in this decision. So like he's like basically saying, whatever I do with my business, it's not because of my business, it's for my family.
Yeah.
So like, I'm doing this for my family because I'm doing it for my business. So like, they kind of coincide. And besides the fact that Capheus saved his life and Amandi loves him, he reveals that he's in love with Capheus' mother.
Yeah.
And it's his intention to ask her to marry him. So that's a big slap in the face a little bit for Capheus, who's a little... He's like here and there with Silas. He's like, yeah, you're a friend, but also you're sketchy. So like, are you good enough for my mother kind of thing? Mm-hmm. And we did see a snippet or a suggestion that maybe there was something else going on with them earlier when we saw his Silas's car at Capheus' house and his mother got out of the car and she was dressed all nice. So we kind of saw a little thing happening back then, but it turns out it's very serious.
Yes.
And he wants to ask her to marry him. So big news on that front. Now with Nomi, she and Amanita and Bug arrive at Tegan's wedding just in time. They pull up right outside and are running up the stairs.
I'm like, why were they so late?
I don't know why they were so late, to be honest with you. Maybe they were just late getting ready, and I'm like, girly, I would never.
Shouldn't Nomi have been with, like, the other wedding party? Like...
Yeah, I would think so, but, like, she probably didn't want to... Her mother was probably at the wedding party for most of it, and she probably did not want to have to deal with that. I get that.
I mean, fair. But
be on time as well.
I'm like, but yeah, no, I'm sorry. This whole late thing and running in last minute was, I was very, like, offended in this moment. As a person who likes to be on time myself, I was like, girly, be on time. Yeah. Like, I would have lost my head if that happened at my wedding. But Tegan doesn't seem to be as stressed. She's just like, yay, she's here. Yeah. Like, and it's all fine. So, but as they run in, we do see someone sitting in a car right outside, and it's Agent Bendix, the dickhead who's been constantly following them. So, as they run in, the wedding starts on the dot, and she's like, "Of course, that's probably my mother." Everything starts on the dot with her, and Tegan's relieved that she's arrived finally as well, and Nomi's like, "You look beautiful," and I'm like, "Oh my god, they're so cute." I love her and Tegan's relationship. It's great. And Amanita and Bug go to sit down, and Amanita compliments Bug's tux, and apparently he bought it on eBay, and it was worn by James Bond's stunt double from there's two froms here, that's why. Okay. From Lush. I've given up on speaking. I can't. There's two froms. I can't speak when there's two froms. From Russia with love. From Russia with love. Is that a movie or something?
Yes, it's a James Bond movie. I've never seen a James Bond movie. I will say that now. Yeah, okay, finally, someone else. Because, like, every time I say that, someone's like, what's wrong with you?
I mean, I know he's 007. He's in spy action films like that. I've never seen him.
Yeah, there's, like, a bunch of James Bond movies. This is one of them, and it was worn by his stunt double, apparently. So, very exciting for Bug. The bridesmaids and groomsmen start walking down the aisle, and, the best man, annoying, says, you got a nice rack for a dude. And I'm like, oh, somebody punch him in the face. And Sun appears next to her in that moment. It's like, do you want me to hurt him? Yeah. I can do that. I got you. And Nomi's like, I can't be responsible for ruining her big day. We're not going to do that. And she's kind of talking to herself in that moment. She's not really.
So here's the thing. So can they have conversations in their head not speaking out loud? Or do they need to speak out loud? Because in this moment, I'm like, if they can speak in their head, why is she speaking out loud in this moment?
I think when they speak in their head, they have to go to the other location. So she has to go to where Sun is to talk to her if she doesn't want anyone hearing her. So no, it's like no one can hear Sun right now, wherever she is.
Okay, because I was a little confused by that moment why he was able to hear her. I'm like, oh shit, was that not in her head?
Yeah. No, it's not in her head.
Okay,
because she didn't visit Sun. Sun visited her, so it's not in her head. And as she's talking to herself, the guy's like, I hear people talk to themselves when no one cares what they have to say. And I'm like, So Nomi's like, maybe just a little. You can hurt him just a little. So Sun like basically like seriously injures his finger, and he's just it's very funny. So Nomi takes her place at the altar, having just injured the lovely man to the side. Thank you. I needed that. And now with Lito, still depressed, laying in bed. And Hernando brings him breakfast, which looks very good. It's a bunch of fruits and some coffee. It looks lovely. And he's like, look, I know you're refusing to leave the room. I get what you're going through. I'm not judging or trying to fix it. I just want you to know I love you. And you're not alone. And here's your breakfast. And as they're sitting there, Danny comes rushing in. And she's like, you need to get up. I found the perfect script for you. It's meant for you, okay? I read it, and I was like, this is it. This is it. This is the one. So you need to get up right now. You need to come in the living room, and you need to fucking read it. So big things are happening there, apparently. And back with Nomi at the wedding. I fucking love this scene so much. The priest is like doing his thing. He's talking about searching for the one, and for Tegan and Tom, the searching's come to an end. They found their one. And Bug starts crying. And this lovely woman next to him is like, me too. I always cry at weddings. He's like, oh, same. So he's bonding with some wedding guests. And as the priest asks Tegan if she takes Tom to be her husband, Agent Bendix and his team come barging in the middle of the wedding. What a fucking dick.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt this day, but I don't have a choice. And he asks everyone to remain seated until they've secured the individual they're looking for. And he's here to arrest Nomi Marks. And Nomi tells Tegan she doesn't understand what's going on, because Tegan's like, I thought you fixed it. And I did. I fixed it. Like, I don't know what's going on. And Amanita's talking to Bug as well. And she's like, I thought you fixed it. I thought E-Death worked. And he's like, it did work, I swear. And Janet, which is Nomi's mother, stands up and is being a bitch again. As I knew this was gonna happen if you invited, in quotes, him, misgendering Nomi again. And she dead names him again too. She sucks, honestly. And Tegan asks her parents to do something. She's like, hey, stop this, because her dad's a lawyer at the very least. I don't know what her mother is, but her dad's a lawyer.
Yeah.
So it's like, do something. And her mother says it's her own fault for including Nomi, and Bendix threatens to arrest Tegan if she doesn't get out of the way. And it's like, and her mother's yelling that Nomi just ruins everything, and she's endured enough humiliation, and she hates that Tegan is taking her side. And Lawrence asks Nomi to go with Bendix and promises to see what he can do for her later, her dad. And Nomi's like, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I ruined your wedding. I'm so sorry. And is walking up to Bendix, and who says that this is what happens when you try to outsmart the law. Like, shut up, fucking dick. As he goes to handcuff her, though, Amanita stands right up and is like, no. She makes her way over to him and Nomi, and she tells Nomi that Bendix has his ass so far his head. Sorry, it says in here. So somebody has typed that he has his ass so far up his ass, which I'm pretty sure is not right.
His head up his ass.
His head is up his ass.
Because an ass can't go in one's ass.
I don't think an ass can go in an ass.
No.
I feel like that's not possible.
No.
So he has his head so far up his ass
that
he didn't bother to check. And Amanita turns to the guest and yells that Bendix has violated the sacred ceremony for no other reason than the gratification of his own male ego. And some of the wedding guests are nodding along with her, like, yeah, you're fucking right. I agree. Like, what the fuck is he doing? And Bendix says that Nomi is one of the most wanted fugitives in the city. She asks him to prove it. by showing the arrest warrant. And he's like, fine. So he pulls out his phone, but it's looking like he can't really find that arrest warrant. So someone was a dum-dum and didn't really check if it was still there. And her father stands up and is like, are you familiar with the law firm Winslow, Wise, Allegretti, and Marks? Because I'm Marks. So, just saying. And Bendix figures Nomi's pulled some hacker bullshit and goes to drag her, but her dad says, take your hands off my daughter, which is a very big deal for her. And he will pursue a suit seeking the damages that end the careers of men like Bendix, which is great. And Bendix and his team have no choice but to slink off because there's no warrant. What are they gonna do? They can't arrest her. The second he does arrest her and bring her to the station, they're gonna be like, why? There's no warrant here. Why'd you arrest her? Because she was at a wedding? Like, there's literally no reason for him to be able to do that. So Nomi's pretty moved by her father's words and is very obvious, like, he's never called me daughter before. This is very exciting. And he apologizes for the theatrical misunderstanding and says the ceremony can continue. Her and Amanita exchange I love yous, and she gets back to the ceremony, and it continues. And I think this was like, Tegan's great. She was like, woohoo! Like, she's having fun. So if she's having fun at her wedding and she likes this, great. Like, honestly, it makes your wedding very interesting.
Yeah. Story to tell.
Yeah, definitely a big story to tell to your future kids as well. Like, oh my god, our wedding? Craziest thing happened. Now, back with Leto, another one of my favorite scenes ever in this show. This is such a good scene. Oh my god, I love her so much. So Leto's reading the script for, it's called Iberian Dreams, and Hernando and Danny are waiting his reaction. And Leto's very moved by the script. He's like in tears. And she's like, you're exactly like the Jordi Gallo character in the screenplay. I think you're perfect. And Leto's like, look, they're probably already casting Hollywood actors. It's a Hollywood film. They probably get like Javier Bardem or something like that. And she's like, but I don't see it. I see you when I read this. I saw you as Jordi. And she's convinced the Iberian Dreams people will see it too. They just need to get him in the room with them and they'll see it. And Leto's like, look, I don't even have an agent to get me in the room with them. Like, that's not going to happen. And Danny's like, I didn't have an agent when I first started off, but it didn't stop me. So Leto asks Hernando for backup, and Hernando's like, give him some time. You know, he's still kind of depressed. And Leto and Danny's like, okay, you have time. 58 minutes of time. You have 58 minutes. And she asks Hernando to get a timer. So 58 minutes apparently is the longest it's ever taken her. That's all she says. Just that it's the longest it's ever taken her. And she asks for Leto's phone, and Hernando sets the timer. So Danny goes through this whole thing back and forth with the producer's office in Hollywood and the guy at someone she knows at Variety. And basically she's finessing her way through this. She's like, oh, go ahead and look up like his YouTube video and then call me back if you think it's interesting. Talks to the guy who's like, oh, I heard Leto's maybe going to Hollywood to talk to Kit. I know. Like, she's finessing the fuck out of these people. And eventually she gets on the phone with Kit, who's a Hollywood producer. And Leto and Hernando are just watching in awe of this entire conversation that she's having with multiple people. And once she's on the phone with Kit, eventually she says, I can't wait for you to meet him, which suggests that he's like, I want to see him, like, tomorrow. I want to see him soon. And so it's under 58 minutes too, because like as they're chatting and they're very excited and freaking out that he's going to be meeting Kit, the timer goes off and they're like, hey, it's 58 minutes, 58 minutes. It's just a phenomenal scene, and I just love the back and forth that she has with all these people. She finesses the fuck out of them, and I love her for it. You gotta admit, this is a good scene, right?
It gave me whiplash. I was like very like, what is going on? Like it was very confusing to me. Like I was just like very like, what, who is she talking to now? What's going on? Like I was very like, it was hard to understand what was going on until the end when she's like, oh yeah, he'll meet you there or whatever. Like, and it made the deal. I was like, oh, okay, that's where we ended up. But like the whole process, cool, but like also very confusing and very whiplashy to me.
Okay, not to me, but alright. I thought it was impressive as fuck, but that's okay. Let's see. So now we move on to Kala. And Kala receives a call from her bodyguard downstairs. She's at home. And he says, we have a man here claiming to be a friend of the family, and it turns out it's Ajay, the man who works with Rajan that she met at the art gallery.
Mm.
And he's like, hello, and Kala's like, oh, Rajan's out of the city. He's somewhere else. He's working on something. And Ajay's like, okay, well, I just wanted to drop off a wedding present. I can even bring the bodyguard chaperone down here since, neighbors can talk, and I promise it won't take but a moment. And she's like, all right, I mean, okay, that's fine. So he comes up, and he's like, oh, nice apartment. I see it's a fixer-upper. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean it's fixer? I will fucking punch you in the face. It's a nice apartment. And he sits down. He looks at the framed photo of the wedding. And he says he met Rajan quite a few times after the wedding, but it wasn't until he met her that he realized he made a mistake not having come to the wedding. He's a very slightly sleazy person. Like, some of the comments he makes is very like, ooh, you're pretty and I could totally take you from your husband, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it shows that he's kind of into her. And we don't want that right now. There's already 2 people in college.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, he's like hitting on her and like trying to make her have an affair, but she's already having an affair in the so it's like, so I'm like, I mean, yeah, like, I'm kind of just like, what, like, I mean, an affair's already happening, so,
she's busy.
Yeah.
She's a little busy. He understands now what people mean by the civilizing nature of women. I'm like, fuck off. Everyone makes mistakes, but it's important to make amends when appropriate, because he didn't come to the wedding and he's so sorry. And she's like, you didn't have to do this, but he's like, oh, I did anyway, and karma's awarding him with another opportunity to talk to you. Fucking hell. And he asks if she believes in karma, and she's like, oh, absolutely. And so he asks her to wait for Rajan to open his present, because it'll mean more then. And I'm like, to who? Like, and what meaning will it have is the thing. So he hugs her to congratulate her and leaves. And once he's gone, she picks up the present to kind of like shake it a little bit to see what's in it, but no noise is made, so she just sets it down. So she's like, I wonder what it is. And we will see later what that means, because it's not in this episode yet. But we will see what it is. And we'll see Rajan's reaction to it and all that fun stuff, because it's a little important.
Okay.
A little important, but his reaction definitely makes you go, interesting, what the fuck is going on here? So we'll see that later. Now with Will, he connects with Whispers again for a second and finds him having a conversation with the secretary, the new secretary at the very least, about the neurografting and lateral demonstrations yielding extraordinary results. And Will observes him using a key card and compares it to a bunch of key cards and passports they retrieved at the mansion. And Whispers is blocked by a bodyguard while the secretary is on his way to a meeting. And Whispers reminds the secretary that the program exists because of him. And meanwhile, Will has found one of those matching key cards. He has one of them, and it's probably from the safe that they found all that stuff in. So, possibilities. We're laying the groundwork here. So with Will and Riley now, Diego informs Riley that the coroner's report came in for Carol, and it confirms that she took a bunch of pills and slit her wrists. Basically what shows. Yeah. So Riley wonders why, and why Jonas was there. And Diego receives a call from his wife, so he steps away to answer it. And so Will appears to Riley and tells her to come back to London, since he has a plan to get to Whispers. He asks how many blockers she has left, only 4, which is not enough for the whole, plan. Flight and travel back and all of that fun stuff. And Riley reminds him that Kala believed that she could recreate them, so that's a possibility. And at that moment, Diego returns with bad news. Apparently, Will's father is dying. Yeah. Which is tough, because Will, while they have a tough relationship, Will loves his dad. And so Diego and Riley arrive at the hospital, with Will following them because he's not there in person. And he kind of remembers all these moments with his dad. We see some flashbacks of 4th of July and the fireworks and things like that. And they walk across a bunch of police officers that are kind of there to, bid farewell to their fellow police officer. And they enter the room, and Diego introduces Riley as a friend of Will's to all of Michael's friends. And Riley sits down and asks what happened. A nurse tells her that it was shock brought on by septicemia, and they think he fell and hurt himself. and one of his friends found him laying on the floor. And Will is breaking down back in London. He's sobbing. And Michael asks Riley who she is and keeps asking for his son. And she's like, I wish he could be here. He can't be here. And Will tells his father that he's sorry and that he should be there. And at that moment, like a miracle, Michael sees Will, kind of. He like feels him there. He sees him there through Riley. And he's like, I knew you'd come. And you're my boy. And I'm like, stop. I'm gonna bawl. He recalls that they used to play catch. He's like, why did we stop? And a flashback shows them playing catch, and the reason that them stopping, at least in that moment, was that he had to go to work. He's like, I'm sorry, I gotta go. But Will is like, please don't go, come back, which mimics what's going on in the hospital right now. And Will begs his father not to go in the current time, and all by himself at the safe house, Will is breaking down on the bed. And it's basically said that his father dies. So, sad shit, man.
Yeah.
It's a sad scene. It's fucking heartbreaking, because, it shows the flashback as well of him being born and his father being the one to help his mother give birth to Will, and him holding him up right after that, being like, wow, this is my child. And it's just, it's so sad. It's because, even though they had a rough relationship, it's that's father and son at the end of the day. And to lose that, especially for Will, who has been so broken about leaving him and not being there for him, and all he's been wanting to do is call him and speak to him, but he's not been able to, because people could come find him wherever he is. It's too dangerous for both of them. And to not be able to anymore now that he's dead is just it must hurt him so deeply.
Yeah.
It's fucking sad, bro. It's sad as hell.
Yeah, it was sad.
It's very sad. But that's how the episode ends, with depression.
Yeah.
So yeah. Damn. MVP? Okay. It's between 3, but I think I'm gonna choose one.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Amanita.
I was this close to picking Amanita, but I picked her last time,
yeah.
So I can't do it again. I wanted to pick Amanita so fucking bad, but I was like, I can't do it again. I need to chill.
No, Amanita was great. But... yeah, she had the whole speech when Bendix showed up and kind of shut that down. But also even before, when in the first scene when she tells Nomi, she's like, okay, well now you need to do this. After her mom called her out, she's like, and that's the thing, we were in sync in that moment. I was like, oh, that's good. I like that.
She's always there for Naomi, which is very important.
Yeah.
For them. And she's fucking awesome. That's why I wanted to choose her again. But I chose Denny because of the whole scene, which I know you don't get, but the whole scene of her going back and forth, and the fact that she did it in under 58 minutes is kind of fucking insane. She got him in a room with a Hollywood Academy Award winning producer in under 58 minutes, which is kind of fucking bonkers. I don't know how she did that, but she's fucking genius. And now Leto possibly has a shot at something amazing for his career. So good job, Denny. Good job, Denny. Okay, grades.
Grades.
Good grades. Let's see. You had 3 vibes and a title.
Yep.
The title was What Family Actually Means. You said Leto. You were wrong.
Yeah.
It was Nomi. One of your vibes was Wedding. You said Nomi. You were right. Because it was Tegan's wedding. And A Father Steps Up. You also said Nomi. You were right.
Yeah.
Because he called her daughter. And A Father Dies. You said Riley's father. You were wrong.
I knew it was one of those two, because they're the only fathers alive. But
you were like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was those two. It was Will. All right. So next is season 8. No, not season 8. Sense 8. God, I put S8, so I immediately said Sense 8, season 2, episode 10. And the title is a long one.
Oh God.
It's If All the World's a Stage, Identity is Nothing But a Costume.
That sounds like Leto.
Okay, so you have 3 vibes.
3.
1 is Hollywood.
Leto.
Speech. Speech.
I'm gonna say Will, and I'm gonna say, is it at his father's funeral? Maybe it's Riley saying it, but Will's actually saying it, the something along those lines.
Mm.
Maybe, I don't know.
And the last one is gala.
Gala. Ooh, that's sun.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Those are your vibes.
Okay.
Congratulations. You're rated. So that is it for Sense 8, Season 2, Episode 9. We'll see you next week for Season 2, Episode 10. If all the world's a stage, identity is nothing but a costume.
Okay. We will see you all then.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.